Black WNBA players are racist towards Caitlin Clark, claims Jason Whitlock as he slams TV networks like ESPN for not talking about it. Controversial podcast host Jason Whitlock has accused Black WNBA players of being racist towards Caitlin Clark and slammed networks like ESPN for not talking about it. The #1 overall pick and rookie sensation has been subject to rough treatment on numerous occasions during her first season as a pro, with some accusing her opponents of being jealous of her remarkable impact on women's basketball. The latest incident arrived on Sunday when Seattle Storm's Skylar Diggins-Smith took a cheap shot at Clark after she inspired the Indiana Fever to a 92-75 win at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Diggins-Smith, an Olympic gold medalist and 6-time WNBA All-Star, was caught needlessly bumping into Clark at the end of Sunday's game. Clark was hyping up the Fever fans after the buzzer when Diggins-Smith appeared to speed up her walk to purposely crash into her opponent. What cannot be discussed is the level of racial animus that is being directed at her. If you're independent media, if you're Twittered, you can talk about it all the time, but I have yet to see it discussed on ESPN. Like, holy cow, these Hatton, Shaniquas. This is racism. They play the Seattle Storm, and Noel Quinn is the Storm's head coach. Noel Quinn got into a heated argument with Christy Sides, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, at the end of the game. They got their doors blown off by Caitlin Clark and the Fever, and at the end of it, Noel Quinn starts yelling, screaming, and preaching at Christy Sides. What it was about was, at the end of the game, Caitlin Clark, they're up big, there's a timeout. She's down at the end of the court where the Seattle Storm bench is, and she's clapping and motioning to the crowd to keep pumping up the noise. Skylar Diggins intentionally bumps into Caitlin Clark and carries her into the Storm huddle and sideline area. You can see at the very end of the clip, Noel Quinn gets triggered. She gets triggered because she thinks Clark is showing up the Seattle Storm team. But if she had not been bumped into by Skylar Diggins, she would have been nowhere near the Storm bench. To me, it's just another example of these black women. They got this animosity. It's not all of them, but it's enough of them that seem to be so bothered by the success of Caitlin Clark that they lose their composure, they lose their self-control, they just get triggered by her success. And it's like no one is talking about it. Clark also experienced some hostility earlier in the season from Chicago Sky opponent Chennedy Carter, who went out of her way to body-check her to the ground. Clark's college rival Angel Reese was also seen cheering on the play from the bench. Clark scored 23 points and 9 assists to help the Fever beat the Seattle Storm 92-75. With 232 assists so far this season, Clark broke the previous WNBA rookie record of 224 by Tika Penicheiro in 1998. The #1 overall pick in the 2024 draft has scored at least 20 points in 5 of her last 6 games. She is averaging 23.7 points on 47% shooting from the field, and 11.7 assists over that span. Whitlock claimed Clark is the second-best player in the WNBA behind A'ja Wilson, and could be a contender to win the MVP award. If you eliminate the first 10 games and just evaluate what Clark's done the last 18 games, she's the second-best player in the league, and has a case for MVP of the league. If you just evaluate the last 18 to 19 games. She probably won't get it next year, but she'll probably be the best player in the league next year, and should be the MVP. Her teammates have jumped on board with her because winning is infectious. They understand a rising tide lifts all boats. But there is this angry group. Noel Quinn, Jewel Lloyd won't talk about her. Even Skylar Diggins, who I like, took that little shove at her. They're just enraged, jealous, and petty. And I'm just sorry. It's racist, and it's bigoted. If this were happening to a black player by a bunch of white players, this would be leading SportsCenter every night and every ESPN talk show. People called me crazy when I said she won't be facing death threats like Jackie Robinson. But this might be more difficult than Jackie Robinson.